My mother, who was Cherokee Native American, told me before she died, "You will not run from who you are." One time I had a dream with my mother in it before she passed away. We were in the mountains in a log cabin taking care of goldfish. Then we came down the mountains into a clear path. On the road was a car, 1950s style. My mother was sitting in the car with the door open. As she looked at me and said, "I have to go now," smiling. I told her the dream. She said, "More will be revealed." That night, my mother, as she passed away, was enjoying the log cabin quilt she had made. I folded it up that night, and as I knelt on the floor, I smiled, recognizing the connection in the dream to the log cabin quilt. A goldfish with an eye shaped as a heart was looking up at me. 9 months later, on Mother's Day, I found the picture exactly like my mother was in the dream, in the car. I was so happy. Our connection is beyond this realm. I've always believed that. In this class, we're visited by a Native American speaker. Our stories were so parallel, it made me realize there are no coincidences here. He told us about returning to his Native American roots, to heal and to remember who he is. Honoring what is true to oneself is the greatest spiritual truth I have found. I remember when my mother had passed away, several months went by, and I started to grieve. I was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I was at a buffet, and this lady spoke to me. She said, "You look like my mother. You see, she died when I was 10 years old." I reflected on the time I had with my mother when I walked out to the ocean, and I said out loud to her, "I do miss you. I'm so glad I had the time I had here with you." You see, my mother had cancer, and I was born in that cancer. She had to fight for me to be here. Our connection was a powerful one from the beginning. I looked down after speaking to my mom in spirit, and at my feet there was a yellow shafted flicker feather and a heart stone. The flicker is a bird totem on the Native American medicine wheel. My mother's birth totem is the flicker. The heart stone has a seal, owl, and a crocodile on the stone. The seal means dreaming, as my mother and I do. The owl does also, which is connected with my Cherokee name, Owl Vision Woman. The crocodile is about powerful mothering and ancient knowledge. I will not run from myself. I now have appreciated the message from my mother. I embrace my gifts and share them with my daughter, as my mother did with me, and so the roots continue to spread onto the next generation. I find this a spiritual joy in my journey, rich in love, memories, and heritage to honor. How